Imagine starting your business in Georgia with seamless operations through a sales tax permit. Today, we'll unlock the step-by-step blueprint to make that happen effortlessly online. Don't miss out on these crucial insights.
Welcome to The Explainer. If you are feeling even just a little bit overwhelmed by state tax regulations, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to validate that great decision to get your compliance handled early, right here, right now. Today, I'm going to guide you through a crystal clear, completely linear blueprint to getting your Georgia sales tax permit totally sorted out.
So here's exactly how we're going to break this down. First up, a quick intro to permits. Second, eligibility and requirements. Third, the online application itself. Fourth, the post-application process. Fifth, maintaining your compliance. And finally, number 6, pitfalls and troubleshooting. I promise you, this bureaucratic chore is actually highly logical, incredibly manageable, and by the end of this explainer, you'll know exactly what to do.
Okay, let's dive into this and establish our foundation. What exactly are we applying for here? Well, in Georgia, a sales tax permit is officially known as a Sales and Use Tax Certificate of Registration. It's issued and monitored by the Georgia Department of Revenue, or JDOR for short. When you get this permit, you're essentially entering into a trust relationship with the state. Think of it like this. The money you collect for sales tax, it doesn't actually belong to you. Your business acts as an authorized agent of the state. You're legally empowered to collect that tax from your buyer at the cash register or, the online checkout, hold it in trust, and then hand it straight over to JDOR.
Section 2. Eligibility and requirements. Before we go logging into any government portals, we need to transition into figuring out exactly who actually needs this permit in the first place. It really all comes down to a concept called nexus. Now that's just a fancy legal word for having a sufficient physical or economic connection to the state. If you have a physical presence in Georgia, like a storefront in Atlanta, maybe an employee, or literally just inventory sitting in a warehouse, you have physical nexus, and yep, you need a permit. But what if you have zero physical presence in Georgia? Let's say you run a completely online fictional boutique out in California. If you sell, say, a bunch of $5 earrings to customers in Georgia, and you hit 200 separate transactions in a year, boom, you've crossed the threshold for economic nexus. Whether it's 200 transactions or over $100,000 in gross revenue, out-of-state sellers meeting those numbers absolutely must register. But wait, what if you strictly sell on platforms like Amazon, eBay, or Etsy? Well, under the law, these platforms are known as marketplace facilitators. And here's the really good news. Georgia requires these massive platforms to calculate, collect, and remit the sales tax on your behalf. If this is your one and only sales channel, it takes a massive compliance burden right off your shoulders. But keep in mind, if you sell on your own website in addition to those platforms, you are still on the hook for your own direct sales. All right, so assuming you do need to register, you'll want to gather these documents and place them right on your desk, so you don't have to scramble once that application timer starts ticking. You're going to need your federal EIN or your social security number if you're a sole proprietor. You need your legal business name and exact physical address, your NAICS code, which is just a number that classifies your business activity, the personal details and social security numbers of your responsible corporate officers, and finally, your estimated monthly sales. Got all that? Perfect.
Section 3. The online application. Now we move to the core execution phase of our blueprint, actually applying on the Georgia Tax Center, commonly called GTC.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredibly pleasant surprise regarding the cost. Georgia charges absolutely nothing to register for a standard sales tax permit. It is completely 100% free. And honestly, they've made the digital clicks wonderfully streamlined. First, you just go to the GTC website and click Register a New Georgia Business. Second, you select your business type, like an LLC or a corporation, and pop in your EIN and NAICS code. Third, you'll add the names, addresses, and social security numbers of the responsible parties. Remember, this is a trust tax, so the state really wants to know exactly who is in charge of that money. Finally, you just review the summary of everything you've entered and hit Submit. It's highly intuitive.
Section 4. The post-application process. So, what happens the very moment you click that Submit button?
Georgia's system is shockingly fast. Like, at minute 1, you submit. By minute 15, under standard processing conditions, you're going to receive an email containing your official tax account number. It is virtually instantaneous. So the crucial point is what you actually do on day 1 of having it. By law, you must log back in, print the certificate, and display it conspicuously at your business location. You literally cannot hide it in a drawer. It has to be visible to your customers.
And as a business owner, you're going to love this. There's no expiration date.
You don't have to set a calendar reminder to pay a renewal fee every single year. This registration is a true one-and-done deal that remains valid indefinitely, provided you keep up with your ongoing filing requirements and your business doesn't undergo major structural changes. It just beautifully removes future bureaucratic headaches.
Section 5. Maintaining compliance. This shifts our focus perfectly from acquiring the permit to the ongoing responsibilities of actually using it in the real world.
Look, when you start charging tax, you obviously have to charge the right amount. Georgia has a base state sales tax of 4%, but almost every county and city stacks what are called local option taxes on top of that base. These are things like lost, splost, and transportation taxes. Take Atlanta, for example. You've got the 4% state tax, plus a massive 4.9% in local taxes, bringing the total collection rate up to 8.9%. Sales tax in Georgia is destination-based, which simply means the rate is highly location-dependent, based on exactly where your customer takes possession of the item.
And this brilliantly illustrates your ongoing duties to keep that permit in good standing. First, you must charge those correct local rates. Next, you have to file your tax returns by the 20th of the month following the reporting period. Now pay super close attention to this next point. You must submit what are called zero returns even if you had absolutely zero sales that month. Seriously, if your business is seasonal or you just had a really slow month, you still have to log in and file a return showing $0. Finally, keep all your sales records and exemption certificates for at least 3 years just in case of an audit.
Let's move to Section 6, Pitfalls and Troubleshooting, and see how this builds perfectly into ensuring you avoid some extremely expensive rookie mistakes. I want you to pause for a second and just consider the risks. What could possibly go wrong if you just ignore these state regulations, skip getting the permit altogether, and start selling? Or, what if you collect the tax from people but forget to actually remit it to the state? Well, the state takes trust fund taxes incredibly seriously. Operating without a required permit can result in fines up to $1,000, plus additional daily penalties. If you've been selling without a permit after crossing that nexus threshold we talked about, the state is going to assess back taxes and interest from the date you should have registered, not the date you actually did. In extreme cases of failing to remit collected trust funds, corporate officers can actually be held personally liable, and the state can even force the total closure of your business. Finally, let's clear up a massive source of confusion for new business owners. A sales tax permit is your authorization to collect tax from your customers. A resale certificate, which in Georgia is specifically known as Form ST5, is what you use to buy wholesale inventory from your suppliers completely tax-free. You cannot use a resale certificate unless you first have your active sales tax permit. Please don't mix these two up. One is strictly for selling and the other is strictly for buying.
This video is intended for informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal advice. Always consult with a legal or tax professional for specific guidance regarding your business circumstances in Georgia. With that foundation solidly laid, are you ready to conquer the compliance maze and turn your new Georgia business into a thriving success?